Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War live battlecast. In this particular game, we are going to play the Greenskins against the Empire, and this is indeed with the new King and the Warlord DLC, so it should be fun to see how it pans out. We're going to go ahead and get the Night Goblin War Boss. I'm actually going to give him a try. He gets to ride a great Cave Squig, which he's armored and shielded, anti-infantry, melee expert, as well as a poison attack. So very, very cool there, and he can carry potions, so it's kind of like an interesting variant to the Orc War Boss, who is a little bit, sturdier in some respects, but this guy is pretty neat. He does have the poison attack, which will definitely help in duelist situations, and just, thematically very, very awesome. So looks like my opponent did switch to Bretonnia. No difference. We'll continue to play these guys, and we're just going to get, do we want to get a Night Goblin Shaman? Let's go ahead and do that. The one issue with the Night Goblin Shaman, though, against Bretonnia is he can't really get away. If, he does dive with his Air Force, you're definitely just going to get pounded. You're not going far. So we're going to get rid of the magic missiles. We will keep the Foot of Gork. It can be decent in a multitude of situations. So we're also going to get two Doomdiver catapults, which are very, very good against Bretonian peasant bowmen, especially on the Chaos Waste, where there's not a lot of places to hide. So we're also going to get, let's see, do we want to get the Broken Tusk Mob? Let's see what the stat difference is. So if we compare them, they have higher melee attack, higher melee defense, higher armor. Yeah, just a multitude of better stats. So, and they actually, do they have... Yeah, they do have encouragement, whereas this group does not. So that's actually decent in the Greenskin rosters. Let's go ahead and try that. And Squigs aren't going to be that good against Bretonnia. They just have all these, they don't have like armored infantry that the Squigs can really tear into. So we're actually going to opt and get these guys, the Moon Howlers. So these guys are just kind of a Goblin Wolf Rider pack, slightly superior in regards to their stats, if I'm not mistaken. And they do cause terror, which is pretty decent against peasant bowmen and those type of troops. So I don't know if the investment is worth it, because 300 is a really, really good bargain. But yeah, let's just get rid of them. It's just too much. So we're actually going to get two groups of these. So these guys will just be for Vanguard, harass, try and distract his important units. And now we get to do the fun stuff, guys. So as far as our main army goes, Bagans are a pretty good choice against the Bretonian forces. So we're going to go ahead and get two groups of those guys. We're also, Savage Orcs are a good choice, but I kind of need to stay in theme with the Gobos, I think. So let's see here. Night Goblins are pretty decent for flanking, so we'll get two groups of those. Just kind of put them out Vanguard deployed and just have them sneak up on my opponent's missile troops, and hopefully they'll be able to generate some good value. We do have a decent anti-cav force. The big bosses, they should be able to do okay against King Lewin. Obviously not going to win that particular engagement, but armor-piercing troops, not that great. Some boys probably wouldn't be bad, to be honest. Let's see, we could get the Warlord's boys. They do have the armor sundering, which isn't really that pertinent in this matchup. So let's go ahead and just get another group of big ends, and we can get some Savage Orcs as well. So pretty decent little front line here, mostly big ends, Savage Orcs, that kind of thing. But to be honest, most of it's going to come out of harassment and that type of thing. So I could have probably gotten some goblins, goblin archers and whatnot, but I'm going to try a little bit of a different kind of headstrong strategy that's just going to march down and do your thing. One thing against Bretonnia is they can land, Lewin or any number of those heroic units on your goblins, and they'll rout almost instantly. So, but still, I think they're pretty good. The Rusty Errors as well as the other goblins. If you're able to use Wurzog and lock, a heroic unit down and just sunder their armor and just punish them, you can do some serious damage. So, I don't know how this army's gonna pan out, to be honest. I just kind of threw it together and just testing out the new units. A lot of interesting stuff going on, so we will see how it goes. And I do like the Night Goblin Big Boss. He's pretty cool. Looking forward to trying him out a little bit more. So we'll put the Savage Orcs in the front line. These guys are going to be the fodder. They're going to take all that peasant bowman fire, but hopefully my Doomdivers will be able to soften that up a little bit. We're also going to Vanguard. We're gonna get nice and wild over here, guys. We're going to deploy these guys over here, these guys over here, just far angles. Hopefully he doesn't have Cab just sitting right here. That would be pretty depressing. So definitely putting some marbles in that basket, to say the least. Put the Orc Shaman here, we'll put him here, and we will control group those guys. And alright, so let's go ahead and get these guys. This is going to be my anti-Lewin goon squad here. Hopefully I can hunt him with the combination of anti-large and other stats. We're going to start some Goblin Wolf Riders. You don't want to put them next to these guys, because yeah, let's just go ahead and put him here. Because if we put them too close together and he sends a flying unit after them, I could easily just get outed, and that would be really depressing. So we're going to put these guys in 4, these guys in 5, and these guys I can just manually manage the wolves. So our armies are about the same size, so he probably has some Pegasus Knights or other things like that, and if he does have a very mobile force, hopefully I can match it in tow. So let's go ahead and just advance our main force here. We're going to get these Goblin Wolf Riders kind of riding up here. We're going to move these guys up here. We're going to move these guys up here and move the Goblin Wolf Riders up here. So he does have these units. So what we'll probably do is just kind of run them back here and up and around and just bring them and unite them with our main force here. So we're going to get these Doomdivers and start shooting at his bows. definitely a very, very good choice in terms of targeting. Very easy target to get, and we're going to kind of park under here. And we'll control these guys with that, and then you see that kind of lures away his forces, so these Night Goblins can do their thing. So we'll move them back here. Let's see if he wants to go for these. He might try and dive, but I do have these Orc Boar by Biggins. And, oh, did I forget to put this Goblin Big Boss? No, don't tell me they're both like that. Okay, so it's just one, so just a little bit of a screw up, but nothing too drastic. So it looks like he might dive in here, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he wants to do that. That's very risky. So we're going to continue to advance on his main line, kind of see what he wants to do, and he might try and isolate this Goblin Big Boss, which I'd be fine with him diving it, because it does have a potion, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, completely forgot to gear that guy out, so that's too bad. So we're going to go here, we're going to go here, we're going to go here, and we'll get these biggins, and we'll pull these guys up here, and just kind of follow these guys around, to be honest. And these guys can go in the back here, get that thing, and go there. Cool. So far, so good, guys. We're just going to kind of keep this Air Force from doing anything. We just want to kind of keep them, you know, occupied and just not engaged. And, you know, any situation where they're just flying around wasting all this time, I'm okay with that. So they're actually going to jump on a group of biggins, which is a bit of a risky play. Looks like he does. Is he going to get caught? He might get caught with some troops. We'll see if I can catch him, but regardless, my Doom Divers are still doing a pretty good job. The Wasp should be up shortly, so we want to pull him back. He's a pretty squishy character himself, so we're going to go here. We're going to send these guys over here and these guys over here. So far, so good. So we're keeping his forces at bay here. The Pegasus Knights are kind of having a hard time finding their place. They might try and get my Lord, so I'm going to use the Wah here. Kind of put my Lord, actually, with Group 2, so we're going to toggle him so he starts running around with his pack, so he's safe from Bretonnia. We're just going to keep following him. It's definitely a lot of micro and very annoying in some respects, but you can see my Night Goblins are actually going to sneak up on him here, which is good. So right now we also got to concentrate on using our Shaman as well, because I'm kind of neglecting him a little bit. So we could dive in on this Paladin here, but it looks like, where's he going to go? He might try and snipe my Shaman, which would be pretty smart. It's relatively isolated, and it's a nice juicy target. So he does land there. We're going to follow in kind with most of our Goon Squad, and we will use our Lord's leadership abilities here, and we will also use this to give that Master charge defense right as his units come in. And all right, so far so good. So the Night Goblins, they snuck all the way around, guys, and they're doing pretty good. So we have our main battle here, and right now we got to be careful with our Lord. That's the one thing we don't want to lose. So we probably want to retarget these Doom Divers and start targeting, you know, yeah, we can leave them one group here and one group here to finish off those missile troops. Night Goblins, definitely very effective at flanking. We want to check our Goblin Wolf Fighters and probably just send them out on kind of hunting duty here. So yeah, the Bretonnian player is definitely having a little bit of trouble. I think he had trouble finding a home for a lot of his Air Force units, which, you know, definitely, yeah, it's understandable. So we're going to kind of come back here and just start to follow him. We don't want to let him, you know, actually, if we can get this Paladin here, that would be probably worth it. So a lot of my troops here have done pretty good, so I'm going to consolidate here, and just kind of allow these guys to ride down whatever's left out there. These Night Goblins can go after those guys. All right, so far so good. So he is coming back after my Doom Divers, which is pretty smart. I probably should finish his Paladin, though. You know, the heroic units in that long, atrocious game can be so annoying to deal with, to say the least. So those guys should chase them off the battlefield. These guys look like they're broken, so let's actually send them to finish off those halberdiers. So what you want to start doing in this situation is just finishing off as many of the ground units as you can. So that Paladin should be shattered now, so we don't need to waste any more time targeting him. So let's go over here, and I still do have a ton of magic, so we'll just go ahead and use this, make them finish that Paladin just that much faster. Might not be the best use of it, but, you know, why not? So right now the Orc Boars and the Goon Squad are just kind of hunting Lewin, which is fine. And in the meantime, we just need to keep hunting down these kind of remaining units here and make sure that they stay off the battlefield. That's going to be, you know, one of the biggest things, absolutely. So we're going to put these guys in group 6 and just use them to kind of hunt units. Definitely more useful than having them chase Lewin and the guys around. So let's see if we can get this Paladin here. This is the one time it would be nice to have some of those. Is he shattered yet? No, he's still broken. So Night Goblins are continuing to pressure here, and over here we're chasing these units down. And my opponent's definitely very focused on microing Lewin and whatnot, which is totally understandable, definitely a priority. So we'll send those Night Goblins to chase that guy, and hopefully this Paladin can at least shatter. That would be really nice, so we don't have to worry about that nonsense anymore. So is he shattered? Let's go ahead and see. We can zoom down and take a look. Now he's still just broken, so he might still have a potion left, so that's why we really want to finish him. My opponent's just going to kind of run around and isolate units right now, and you can see these Goblin Wolf Riders just paying their dues. So we'll use them to just, you know, charge. Obviously, charging them at men-at-arms with polearms isn't going to be great, but, you know, it's the best we can do. So also, we want to put these guys back here. We can get them. He might have destroyed my siege equipment, but if he didn't, that's really great, because I can just start shooting at Lewin again. So he does land here, understandably. A very, very good choice. He's going to just kind of keep harassing and trying to pick off my units in a very Bretonnian fashion, but again, if I can just, you know, rout off whatever he has left here on the battlefield, it's going to be hard for him to come back, because he will start getting that trigger where, you know, he does need to deal with that, or he needs to land, or there's going to be a penalty or whatever. But I know that can kind of be abused a little bit. You can cycle charge and you know, do it in a very annoying manner, which is tough. But I'm not sure if he's going to do that. We'll find out. But It might be okay. It looks like he's trying to isolate this Goblin Big Boss here, maybe. Or is he going to come for my Shaman here? All of which are, you know, pretty decent choices. But it looks like we did deal with most of those troops here. Is he going to land? Is he going to land? We'll find out here in a sec. So Doom Divers are online. We'll have them go ahead and start shooting. And we will go here. And it looks like this might be his last stand. We'll see. Hopefully I can, like, wrap up some of these troops. But these guys do cause terror, which is tough. So we're going to go ahead and use There We Go here and just get all of our troops in here. And we'll try and get the Paladin. Lewin's a bit more of an investment. So we'll have that Doom Diver shoot there, and these guys are still running back to their cannon, so hopefully they'll get there shortly. So the Orc Boars are definitely a lot slower than these units, which is something to consider, guys. And yeah, if I can get my Warlord on here and like, poison one of these units, I just want to finish off these Paladins, and you can see he's broken, he's shattered, and let's go ahead and finish off these Pegasus Knights. Lewin's, he's going to run scot-free, and these guys are shattered, so looks like that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that Greenskin BattleCast. It was definitely fun. The Night Goblins are pretty useful. They're shielded, so they can deal with Peasant Bowman fire, and of course they're pretty good at flanking, and a lot of people don't expect that. It took a while to develop, but thankfully I was able to use the Orc Boars and other units to keep Lewin at bay, and there wasn't really that many great dive options for him. So Pegasus Knights didn't do bad. The Peasant Bowman kind of had a bit of an issue dealing with all of the flanking from the Goblin Wolf Riders. I mean, look at this group, 101 kills, pretty impressive, and of course Doom Divers are very good at pressuring as well. I'm not sure about the verdict on the Night Goblin War Boss, but he's very fun. You know, Skarsnik's a pretty mean duelist, but again, he doesn't have the ability to heal, which is very defining in a competitive meta. So regardless, good game to my opponent, Lime. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Greenskin Battlecast. Have an excellent night, and take care.